What's up, guys? Universal Mastery. So in today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is how to master communication and use it to get the things that you want out of life. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing that I want to say about communication is that it is literally the most powerful tool that every single one of us as the beings that we are have, okay? Especially when you realize and when you dive into magic, becoming a magician, whether you're a white or black, whatever magician you are. I mean, look, it just... Let me explain this about, being a magician, because there's people that watch this and they still don't understand this. So you have a black magician, you have a white magician. What do I consider myself? I consider myself a black magician. What that means is that I dive into adversary, meaning I work with adversary because I am on a quest for myself to receive my highest knowledge. My highest self wants to receive the highest knowledge that I could possibly have so that I can evolve myself as fast and as most effectively as I possibly can. The difference between a white magician and a black magician is a white magician won't do a curse. A black magician will heal somebody. Do you guys see the little thing that I just said there? Pretty much what I'm getting at is that white magicians don't do certain things that black magicians do. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but what I am saying is that's definitely not my path. That's not my forte. That's not my cup of tea. I want all power. And if you want all power too, then I would highly recommend that you start diving into adversary. Now, when it comes to being a white magician, a black magician, you could just call yourself a magician if it's easier for you. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I just like saying I'm a black magician because my ego feels better when I say that, because it's like, it's pretty much in that statement alone, I'm telling you, yeah, I work with adversary. Okay, I work with adversary. That's a dark thing to do. Not a lot of people can handle that. So, there is a certain stripe for that. Just like, when you serve in the military or you serve in whatever forces, that you get stripes. You have badges of honor and you have stripes. It's like, I use that as my stripe. Like, I'm a black magician. The first thing that you're gonna feel when I say that is, damn, okay, I'm a little scared. Most likely, you're gonna be like, okay, you're a what? You do what? That's a little creepy to me. I don't do that, So then I like to explain to people really what it means. You know what I mean? Like, what is the truth behind it, and why do I do that? And it's the same thing that I just shared with you. I want to really evolve myself as best as I can, and to build a relationship with these beings is essential. I mean, they're the most ancient beings. A lot of the beings that white magicians work with, they were created by the black magician, the darkest entities. Let's just put it that way. The dark gods. They created those beings. So it's like, why not just go to the source? Why do you keep getting like, what's the word? Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Go straight to the plug. Why do you keep doing extension cords? Like, why would you keep plugging into extension cords when you could just go straight to the plug when you want the strongest voltage? So yeah, okay, back to what I was saying. Now we're on topic. Communication. So I'm going to make this quick. This is not going to be too long of a video, even though this is a video that I will be touching up on in other videos in different ways. But what I'm going to share on this one is communication is definitely the most important attribute that we all have, okay? How do I get my feelings? How do I get my emotions across to you? How do I push energy to you? I have to communicate that, okay? So what I find in a lot of different people and in a lot of situations itself is that people have this idea that it's all about the certain specific words that you use. Okay? And I want to dispel that right now, because although the words you use are very, very, very important, the most important thing before the specific words you're using is the way you say the words. It's the spirit behind the words is what is going to communicate to that person. Okay, then once you master the way you speak, once you get more comfortable with being you, speaking the way you speak, getting out of your comfort zone and actually speaking your mind, doing things in that nature, exerting energy, pushing energy, then you can start tweaking your words. And then when you start tweaking your words and saying certain specific words, that's when you really become a master at maneuvering through consciousness and maneuvering through society standards, because you'll realize a lot of people in society are very unconscious, meaning they are on this like automated program, if you will, and there's certain words that you can say to certain people that will literally trigger a response in them. Okay, but obviously before the certain words that you use, it's the energy that comes first. So if you can apply the energy behind the certain words that you use, it will cause them to react a certain type of way. So for example, I'll give you an example. So let's say somebody walks into a building and I say, "Good morning, how are you doing?" Okay? They'll respond, they'll probably most likely respond, "Great, thanks." Like honestly, that's it. "Great, thanks." Now, if I say, "Great morning, if I say, like let's say the same scenario, somebody walks in a building and I say, "Great morning, how are you doing today?" And let's say it's a guy. "How are you doing today, gentlemen?" Or let's say it's like, let's say it's one guy. Okay, so he walks in the building. I say, "Great morning. How are you doing today, sir?" He's gonna respond to me completely different based off the certain words that I used than the first time around when I was just like, "Good morning." So if I say, "Great morning, how are you doing, sir?" and I apply that same type of energy behind it, his response is most likely going to be, "Oh, well," and then he's probably going to say something more, he's probably going to feel more open, okay, because I exerted more energy and I used intelligence to communicate to him, and even though he may be unconsciously and subconsciously, he realizes that I exerted a lot of energy, and now he has to respond with a response that takes more energy. Even though if he's not really trying that hard, he still has to exert a little more energy, because that's how the laws of energy work. If you guys haven't seen my video on energy, go check that out right now, because that's how it works. You have to receive energy that you put in. So, you know, taking it way back. Okay, so let's go back to how you say the words first. Okay, let's erase all that like using specific words, because that throws people off, because they hear that and they want to tap into this power that I'm talking about so much that they're focusing way too hard on what the right words are and how to say things the right way and how to be a perfect I don't know, like they're just trying to like manipulate the game, right? They're trying to manipulate nature into not having to learn the actual process, and they're actually not manipulating anything but themselves, because if you're not saying it from the right point of view, if you're not saying it from that internal current within yourself, from that, if you will, kundalini type current that you have in yourself, then you're not even going to touch anything. Even if you're using the best words possible, they're not going to sound right, and they're not going to communicate right. They're not going to go to that person the correct way, so it's going to be pointless in the first place. So the first thing that you want to do is realize how you speak. Realize how you communicate across. Play with your voice. I remember when I was first starting on this path and understanding, like, how do I use my voice to, do these certain things? I would talk like this, because I was experimenting with what my voice could do and the power behind it, and I would see how certain people would respond when I had more bass in my voice. But now, obviously, because I practice these things, because I really exert it, and yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable because it didn't really feel like me, but I knew what I was doing was experimental. It wasn't going to be forever. So now I have different abilities, different ways of tapping into that energy within myself, and that's why I'm so good at speaking the way that I speak. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you know that. You can feel the intention coming across from me. I can think of an intention that I want you to feel, that I want you to understand, and I can communicate that through the camera. And I'm not saying that I'm the best person in the world at doing this. I'm very good. I know I'm very good, but I'm also very young, and I have a lot of time to learn even more. And even when I become a master, like a complete full-on master at communication, I'm still gonna be a student. I'm gonna always be a student. Yeah, I'm always gonna be a student, right? Like, there's always more knowledge you can learn. Like, there's always more that you can learn. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever let your ego get so high that you think you hit that point where it's like, oh man, now I can kick back and whatever. Yeah, balance your life out, balance your time out, have time where you enjoy it, you know, experience the powers that you have, but always remember that there's somebody else out there that has a lot more knowledge than you, and you'll always climb and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow if you're always trying to learn more things and more abilities, more techniques, more skills, more ways to make these activations happen within yourself. So if you really want to understand about communication, you got to understand the laws of energy. So if you haven't watched my video on my channel yet about the laws of energy, then you need to go check that out, because that's going to really break it down for you. But you know, once again, the laws of energy is you have to exert a certain type of energy to then receive back from the universe. And the universe can take many forms, right? Like, it can happen in people, just like the example that I said about the person that walks in the building. You know, he's going to respond a certain way based off the energy that I send to him. Okay, and this is going to happen to every single person that you communicate with. This is going to be how you grow in jobs. This is going to be how you excel in all aspects of life. And you know, you want to apply intellect to this power too, because there's certain things that you need to be focused on in order to get to where you really should be or really want to be, rather than putting your energy into, like, let's say, toxic people or toxic things. Like, you need to put it into, you need to be smart, okay? You need to be somewhat intelligent and put it into the right direction, okay? Like, when you have all this power, you got to direct it properly, okay? You don't want to be throwing it all in the trash, right? Man, and look, the way, I'm just going to share my experience about, like, how I started to realize the ability that I had when it came to, it wasn't about the words I was using, because I was stuck in that trap for a pretty long time in my life, where I always thought it was the certain words that I was using. You always want to be in your own sphere of energy. You want to get to learn about yourself. You want to learn how you operate. You don't always want to be operating off other people's frequencies. So that's another key when it comes to communication, is the fact that you're constantly going to be creating your own sphere, and you're constantly, especially if you're wanting to become a master at communication, you're going to constantly be creating boundaries so that you let people know what you believe constantly. You're going to be like, okay, you know, you'll be talking to people, you know, a certain way, and by your tone, you're going to tell, like, when someone starts to say something you don't agree with, just by your tone in the response to whatever they said. You don't have to, you're not going to be like, oh, you know, I don't agree with you. You don't have to be like that. But even just by your tone, you can let them know, like, okay, you kind of just lost me. Now we're not really connecting anymore. Okay, let's move on. So then you learn how to not take on that person's energy, because that's exactly how these energetic vampires walk around sucking all your energy, is because you're allowing it. You're consenting it. You're not becoming a master of your communication. You're just being a victim, and you're letting people come around and just pull from you. You may have a very good heart, you may have really good intentions, but you're allowing people to pull from you. And another myth that I want to dispel is that, you know, by being a master at communication and learning this technique and these tools and these abilities, it's not a bad thing. You're not going to be a manipulator. You're not someone that is, like, you know, in that sort of light. Like, you're not going to be an evil person. Yes, you are going to be a manipulator. Everything that we do on a day-to-day basis is manipulation, whether it's for a good intention or a intention that's not good, right? And that depends on what you view as good and what I view as good. But you get what I'm saying. We're constantly trying to sell to people, whether that's opinions, ideas, whatever it is. We are constantly trying to manipulate people to believe what we want them to believe. Like, if I want you to start eating healthy, I will manipulate you through my words, through my energy, and push it your direction so that you take action. And that's a good thing, because that will change your life. And that's how we all operate, right? But then we have people that are walking around, they're like, oh no, it's manipulation, he just wants to sell me something, it's this and it's that, and these people are in control, and they're just throwing their power away. They're throwing it in the trash. They're handing it out to everybody. They're saying, all energetic vampires come and feed off me. And I am not going to live that life, and I'm not going to hang out with other people that live that life. If that's the life that you want to live, then turn off this video right now, go live that life. But if you don't want to live that life, if you want to live a life of someone who actually commands change, causes change, then this is exactly the type of video that you need to be watching right now. So congratulations if that's you. And this is the exact channel that I'm glad that you tuned into. But other than that, that's pretty much the little foundation of communication, how you get it across. Remember, it's not as much as it is about the words that you're using than it is about the energy that's behind the words that you're pushing. The words do matter and they are important. I'm not going to take away from that. I am not going to take away from that. But the energy behind what you say first, the intention behind what you say first, is way more important than the words that you're using. Way more important. Okay? You could mumble something with good intention and power and strong energy, and someone will understand it. I can tell you this from personal experience because I work a job where I'm constantly dealing with people that speak different languages, and a lot of times I can't communicate with them with my words alone. Exactly, like this is a pure example. I can't communicate with them through my words. They don't speak the same language as me, but because I can go like this, I can talk with my hands, I can push energy on them. I can say words that they don't understand, but because my voice says it in a certain way, and I do certain hand formations and I point to certain directions, they fully understand as if we had a full conversation. And then I have to do the same in return and try and understand them, which is not easy if they don't know how to communicate the way that I do. So that just makes my communication skills improve even better. So other than that, I'm going to leave it here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell because I'm posting videos as often as possible. Let's see. Go down to the first link in my description. That's going to take you to my Facebook community group. Basically, it's going to be a group of people that are all on this spiritual journey, and we're all aware that we're on the spiritual journey. So we're going to be sharing knowledge within each other, and I'm going to be posting certain things on that community page every now and then. Things that I may be going through, you know, powerful messages, just extra content. So make sure you tune into that, and then we can all engage on that as well. Okay, we can all come to certain conclusions, and it will just be a group of like-minded people that are all moving towards a similar goal of, you know, that self-evolution, you know, becoming literally the most powerful beings that you could possibly become. Okay, the most powerful being that you could possibly become. And make sure you go to the link below that first link, which is the second link. That's going to take you to my Streamlabs. You'll find my merch there. I have sigil shirt merch. Okay, I'm not going to explain it too much. It's got a sigil on the shirt. I just ordered one. I'm going to be wearing it in my videos. Powerful stuff, guys. If you don't know what a sigil is, watch the video on sigil or do some studying about what a sigil is. It's a symbol of power that I place on that shirt. Go check it out. And props to anyone who knows what sigil it is. But other than that, let's see. Is that it? So the Facebook, that's it. So glad you liked this video. And other than that, I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. Peace.